The rules are simple. Select a random champion, choose masteries, runes and spells that match and start up a game against 5 random AI controlled bots. Then the fun begins. Start a lane and farm as usual, trying to win the game against the 5 opponents before they beat you. The results are then posted in a league. 3 points for a win by destructing every enemy structure, 2 points for a win in any other way, and 0 points for a loss. The winner is then decided from a pool of 3-point champs with the lowest winning time crowned the winner. This is the 1v5 challenge. Hello and welcome to another League of Legends 1 vs 5 challenge. Your champion today is Steel Legion Lux, full AP runes with teleport and ignite. The champions we're going up against are Amumu, Chinzao, Soraka, Lux and Nasus, so a fairly interesting mix. 3 AP, 2 AD. Of course Nasus won't go AP in this. We're going to be up against Soraka in the mid lane with the Ghost and the heal. It's an interesting matchup, so we'll see how we do. The silence will cause us quite a few problems, I'm sure. So we're here early game, about 2 minutes in. We can stun Soraka at the start of this game. Just starting to farm the minions. Our problem here will be sustaining mana in our lane, so we have bought mana to start with. Just trying to do some damage to the minions, staying away from Soraka for the time being. She's not playing too aggressive. Like you see in this challenge, some bots seem to push on quite early on in the game, go for those early kills. Soraka is not going to be one of those champions. Basically, the rules, just to go over them again, are 3 points for a win by destroying all the towers, and let's just wait while we see if we can get this Soraka. We'll get the auto attack. It's not enough though. She's going to go back to the base and heal again. So 3 points for a win by destroying every single enemy structure, so that's all towers, inhibitors, and of course the nexus at the end. That gives you 3 points, and the quickest time will go in at the forefront of the leaderboard of champions with 3 points. If you win without destroying all the structures, so that could be through minions destroying and pushing through, or because you have a weak champion and you try and just push one lane before losing, you just get the 2 points. And of course, if you lose, there is nothing. No points at all. Most champions are strong enough to take on the 5 AI. I don't know what accent that was. I'm not going to do it again though. Most champs are strong enough to take on the 5 AI, but some of course are not. It's going to be quite interesting with Lux against a couple of tankier champs, whether she is strong enough to delete them before they delete her. A good trick, a good barometer of success in this mode is trying to stay in tandem with the outer lane, so as they destroy a tower, then we need to destroy a tower, and so on. Gonna get Soraka in the snare. There's the ignite, there's the E, there's the hit, and there's the first blood. So it's 1-0 after about 4 minutes. And that will allow us to start pushing up on this tower, trying to get it down. If it is under the 5-minute mark, the towers do only take half damage, but we did a bit of damage under 5 minutes, and now we are over, and we can start doing a little bit more, using the runes and masteries to good effect, doing those extra points of magic damage on hit, sending the E out again, and we can use the passive on Soraka, get a little bit of bonus damage, and the snare probably won't get the kill, but the minions will do a bit of damage and will slow it down. But we can use the ults, and indeed we do in fact get the kill. It's 2-0, just 7 minutes gone over, and we can get 1 hit away on the tower in the outer lane. Still not any towers destroyed so far, so we're doing okay for now. We'll keep trying to farm, getting the gold. A good item for Lux is things such as the the item that starts with an M, Morellonomicon, and things like that. A lot of magic penetration, void staff's useful. In this case, you want to be looking at maybe a slightly tankier build. Something's like starting off with the sort of catalyst and the rod. There's the silence. That's going to cause us a few problems. Going to get snared straight away by Soraka. She's going to get away with low health though. The silence does cause a lot of problems if you're on your own. Seen previously someone like Cho'Gath causing a lot of problems being tanky and having that silence as well. Luckily Soraka's not too tanky and she doesn't do too much damage, but still it does interrupt our progress ever so slightly. And as she comes back into lane, we are quite low, and there's the silence and the snare again. We can use our snare on her, use the auto attack getting the passive damage, and the E slowing, killing, and there's the spree, there's the 3-0. So, making easy work, 1v1 of the bot, but that always will happen, 1v1 against a bot. The challenge is when they all start to group together and do damage. Doing damage is our main objective against the minions. And now Soraka has a shield trying to slow us down. There's the silence, so we'll get out of the area. Before we use the E, we're ever so slightly too slow. We have the ult available. But Soraka does not, as she is beyond in the grave. As is our first enemy tower. Down it goes. And we're ahead of the curve as it stands. I can start clearing out minions, and we will be able to start thinking about going back and buying some items. Just over 4,000 gold fairly early on. It's a fairly quiet start to the game, which will always happen against sort of a support or less aggressive champion pitted against us. But we'll see if it gets a bit more interesting as we go on. We are going to go for that slightly more defensive build, go for the rod first, and then start going for the Morello Nomicon. Our bottom lane turret has gone, as has our top lane at the same time. We are one ahead though. And we can start moving on to this second mid lane tower, which will start to fall fairly quickly despite Soraka's best efforts to slow it down. We've got one kill against her already. There's the ult, there's the kill, there's the dominating, and the tower is on low health. Nasus has come to try and help out. There's not really very much you can do. We can snare him though, and hit him, and slow him, and hit him again. And that will send him off back away for far enough for us to destroy his tower. Now we can take advantage of that by taking away some of these minions. What is it with the accents today? They are horrific. I apologise. Now we're going to go on to this inhibitor turret and get a hit on Soraka. Now doing a lot of damage per hit to her. There's really very little that she can do about that without getting some of her friends to help. It'll be interesting to see what that looks like in the bottom lane, whether she can do anything to us. She won't be at the same standard, obviously, and we are currently on level 11, and she is nowhere near that. Neither is Nasus. He's going to try and attack, and it's going to be a fruitless challenge for him. We can keep him fairly far away. He's going to try and slow us though, and using his E, do a bit of damage over time. Soraka using her heals, one of her few uses in this game. We have everything available now though. We can send the Q, the E, the ult. There's the godlike. Starting now to build up quite a few kills, a lot of gold, but our allied turret has been destroyed in that bottom lane by Amumu and Lux. Can we get the inhibitor turret now? When they destroy the second tower, it tends to be very quickly following that. They all rush into the bottom lane to push on that tower, so we've not really got too long to get this middle turret down before they all go down there. Jin Zhao's not down there though. He's in the middle trying to defend. It's a thankless task, it's a fruitless task, and he will go back to the base, but not before Soraka has healed him and tried to keep him out there. Is it going to be enough? We're going to do the damage to him. He's going to escape. We're going to get slowed by Nasus. damage over time. Area effect, send the ult, and we get a kill on Soraka, but on none of the others. Worrying now about cooldowns. Can do a bit of damage to Nasus. He's going to go past us. Could be a big mistake by him. Send the E, and with the passive, we get to the kill. You'll notice there Lux went down to that bottom lane. She escaped from us, and they're going to push now for that inhibitor turret. But can we get theirs before they get ours? The answer to that question, of course, is yes. Now it's a question of what we can do about defending our own tower, or indeed getting their inhibitor. Jin Zhao manages to jump straight over the Qs and do a bit of damage to us with his ult. Then the snare from Soraka and the Q doing a little bit of damage. Gonna get her in turn in the snare though. There's the auto attack which procs the passive. You can see the AI all bunching together. They're all going to ignore our bots and go to that bottom lane where Lux and Amumu are doing their best to destroy it. The Morella Nomicon is purchased, and we're going to quickly rush out to clear the wave of minions once we've purchased the boots and a bit more AP. How are you going to be able to defend this bottom lane? Jin Zhao is going to join the party with Lux and Amumu. We can just start doing a little bit of damage here and there, getting rid of those waves. You can see already as we've destroyed that tower, Nasus is down there trying to get the inhib. There's the double with the ults, and can we get the triple? Yes we can. Triple kill for Lux, and we'll clear this bottom lane out. And by clearing out the bottom lane, we get the chance to push the middle, get the inhibitor down, which should distract some of the bots from the bottom lane. There it goes. Super minions are on their way. We're going to recall back to the base now. It's a bit of a race against time as the super minions will start pushing onto the two Nexus towers. Can we destroy the outer structures before they do to get the full 3 points required to enter the timed league? We're going to purchase a couple more items, trying to build our Rabadon's death cap as well, which is on its way. A bit of gold. We're going to start by trying to clear the bottom lane of Amumu's. And we land the E, slowing it down. There's the Q, there's the snare. We can use the passive damage using the ult. Changed our mind at the last minute. Amumu walked towards us, doing damage over time. We use our shield, get a bit of protection. There's the Q, there's the E, there's the kill. Legendary. And Lux and Jin Zhao have come to see what they can do as well. Remember, our tower is still open in the bottom lane. We do need to think about protecting that as well as trying to push on ourselves. Can we get anyone in the queue? No, we can't. Lux tries to slow us, but we get the slow instead. Do that little bit of extra damage. Now Jin Zhao is considering coming towards us. We try and change his mind for him. Send the ult towards Lux. Misses Jin Zhao, but we still get the damage by the auto attack and the passive damage, which then we also do to Lux. Send the E out. It slows her for a little while, doesn't get the damage though. And we're going to get caught up here by the minions that are going to try and do a bit of damage. We're going to send the E out once more. This time it's successful and gets her out of the way, leaving us to try and push this bottom lane. And we do that, and the tower will come down fairly quickly without much of an issue. There goes the bottom lane first turret. Lux is going to try and cause an issue though. She sends her up. We do a lot of damage with our Q. There's the E, there's the proc damage from the passive. There's the legendary. It's fairly close with the help of the minions. We're going to teleport back into lane after getting our Rabadons and a bit of attack speed straight into Jin Zhao and Lux, who's going to ult again. We're going to return the favour, get the kill. There's the legendary. We're going to try and slow down Jin Zhao. We get that. There's the Q to try and snare. He gets away just in time, but will return for a second helping. Is he going to do the silly thing and go for us? He doesn't need to. We can get the kill with the Q, doing a lot of ability power damage now to him and other tankier champs such as Amumu, who's going to try and do a bit of damage with his W and E together. And there's the legendary. It's no issue. 24-4-0. The bot's yet to get a kill in this game. Getting fairly strong and getting fairly close to the end game now as we go for the second bottom lane turret before we reach the inhibitor ones, which should not be too long from now as we push on this lane and the super minions push on in the middle lane, and Lux disappears for the enemy team as our Lux, our one and only champion, starts to grow ever stronger. Jin Zhao will try and cause a few problems, but there's not really much he can do on his own, which is why he calls a friend in Nasus. We can snare them all, send the E, do the damage over time. There's the ult, there's the kill, and Nasus will try and run away quite rightly too. He'll go back to the base to heal again. Amumu won't know. We can snare Amumu, do the damage through the passive. There's the E, and then once again the sunlight passive is available, and there goes the tank fairly quickly, not causing too many problems. Lux is here. She can cause a couple of problems with her ult, and she does that, and then she snares within tower range. We're within the turret distance. We're going to get slowed. There's the Nasus. There's the kill on Lux. There's the legendary, and we are low. But Nasus thinks better of chasing us through the forest, and we can recall back to the base safely. And we live to fight another day. And that other day will be spent destroying the towers in the outer lane as we push top as well. Seeing how far we can get that. The middle lane inhibitor has gone back up, but if we can push this lane a bit further on, we might be able to get the top lane inhib. Instead, we've got just 2 minions to get the tower with, though the next wave is just behind. And we can start using our attack speed bonus from the Nash's Tooth to start pushing on. Is it called the Nash's Tooth? Or is it the Stinger? Or am I thinking of something totally different? I never know. Who knows? The allied turret in the bottom lane has been destroyed. We're going to lose our inhibitor as well. This could cause a few problems, so we are going to recall back to the base. We are going to lose the inhibitor though on this occasion. There will be super minions in that bottom lane. Just ever so slightly too slow. We can send our Q though, then the RE, then the damage is humongous using our auto attack. And we can clear this wave of minions fairly quickly. Just the champs, when they group together, causing us quite a few problems, quite a few issues. We can send the abilities though and burn through them fairly quickly and get a fairly simple triple kill. We will start to push bottom lane once more, and in middle lane our minions have managed to destroy the inhibitor, so that can work in our advantage. Whilst we push bottom lane, we end up at the enemy turret fairly low, but we do a lot of damage to it fairly quickly. And the super minions, even though they do cause us problems, we can destroy. Soraka is a similar story without the damage. She melts fairly quickly. And top lane, you may see the minions have managed to destroy the inhibitor up there as well, which means all 3 inhibs are down, which leaves just 2 towers for us to destroy. It's going to be a very short game for these AIs remaining. Super minions have got 1 of the towers down, just 1 more to go. And we do the extra true damage on hit. We get slowed by the Nasus. We can slow him in return, do the passive damage. There's the shield, there's the ult, there's the double. And there is the legendary rating. So the minions, we can start running for the victory. Jin Zhao is going to start running after us though. We do the true damage on hit. There's the Q. Avoiding Amumu's Q as well. And sending out some more auto attacks to Soraka. Get the double with the Q. Sending the shield on ourselves. Which didn't even matter to Amumu in the end. As Amumu falls, so do the AI's chances of winning. And with a time of just over 31 minutes, Lux destroys the Nexus and achieves 3 points.